Hello and welcome to Dark Philosophy. This is a show where I'm going to talk about existential things in an exoteric way. That means I'm going to talk about the meaning of life stuff in a way that most people can understand. Not that I needed to mansplain that to you, but I just felt like doing so. Real quick, we're going to jump to the chat, and then I'm going to explain how this show is going to work. My regular co-host that will be on this show couldn't make it tonight, so I'm just going to go over how this show is going to work in the future, and we're going to have some fun with the chat as well. So, who do we have here? Toxic Man Flu. Hail, sir. What you have here is an experiment, and nothing more. Vince Womack. Nice to see you, sir. Currently cooking, but gonna listen. Nice. Well, probably. Then we have Omega Star Productions. Hail, sir. I'm glad you could make it. Blair to Blair. Good to see you, sir. Let me know if you don't get your mug, bro. For real. Jacob Ironside. Hail. I'm glad you could make it. Oh. JT Gunter. Nice Batman hat. Thank you. I do like Batman. Back in the day. You know. Before they went all stupid. But anyway, so this show, Dark Philosophy, is going to be a show where I and my co-host, or sometimes just me by myself, or however it works out, will have a guest on in future episodes, and we will discuss certain topics. Now, some of the topics that we will be discussing are, let's see here. Where the hell did it go? I'm already boomering. This is what you can expect from a Sir Talks a Lot live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a little bit of what am I doing? It's going to be great. Yeah. There they are. Ha, I'm just dumb. So some of the topics that we'll be covering, I still haven't shared the screen. That's ridiculous. Will be things such as I have 3 categories, by the way, of topics to choose from. So what it's going to be in the future is going to be a white topic, a gray topic, and a black topic. Examples of white topics are life on other planets, God's sense of humor, humanity is inherently dumb, concepts of wealth falls into the gray area, so does defining humanity, morality, and then when we get to black, we've got fear of death, guilt, and sin. And these are just a few of the things. Hey, look, there's the chat. That's just a few of the things that we're going to be covering. I do have more topics. I just haven't made all the cards for them yet because I've been busy this week. Blair to Blair says, boomer. I'm pretty sure you're older than me, but I'll take it. Just saying. I'll take it like a man. What's up? Anyway, so this being the Sir Talks a Lot channel, the entire idea of Dark Philosophy is to have a philosophical discussion with people about a topic of their choosing, because the guest will choose one of the topics from the 3 categories that I present to them, and we will have an hour-long discussion about said topic. Now, we're going to keep it as politically free as possible. That being said, this is a philosophy discussion, a philosophical discussion, and it's going to go into values. It's going to go into things that become political very quickly. But we are still going to do our best to not get political. So we'll keep it funny. We'll poke fun at each other, even in the dark topics. We will have serious conversations. Don't think that it's just going to be an hour-long slapstick comedy special, because that's just really not going to happen. But Omega Star Productions says, good-looking topics, Sir Talks a Lot. Should make for some very insightful discussions. That's what I'm hoping for, honestly, is that we can get some insight into the inner workings of human existence, if you will, and have some fun at the base universe's expense. Because as Marcus Aurelius would say, if anything is within the bounds of nature, then it is neither good nor evil if it is naturally occurring. If it is forced upon something, the evil is then created, or the good is then created. It's a strange, weird, value driven way of looking at things. And when I have guests on that disagree with me, we will have a very fun discussion because I don't like arguments. They don't serve any good. If we want to have a debate, that's fantastic. But we're looking for discussions. So that's how it's going to be. I'm going to be looking to get people like Mr. Grant Gregory, maybe George the Giant Slayer, various people from the inner circle at first. Maybe see if Trina is free one night and see if Lasso of Truth will join. You never know. But these are the kinds of conversations that I love having with my friends. And as we've seen, the conversations we have with our friends can make for great entertainment. So I'm going to be bringing people on and having a little bit deeper discussions with them about all kinds of different stuff. And yeah, I'm going to throw out some crazy theories. And it's going to be fantastic. And I'm going to get educated at least one time. Hail, Lasso of Truth. Speaking of you, hi there. I don't know if you heard what I said just now, but if you want to jump back a little bit, I'd love to have you on this show in the future, Lasso. And Zax says, cool idea for show. Thank you. And I was so busy this week that this show did get neglected a little bit. But in order to accomplish what I'm shooting for with this show, I am going to need to make a minimum of currently, say, 26 small videos just to cover various topics that I've come up with so far, because I've given each of them an intro as well, which I will not be previewing any intros tonight because that gives the frame of mind for the show. And since we're doing informational, not happening. And since we're all here right now, maybe you guys can come up with some interesting topics you would like to hear us talk about. Sure, it depends on who the guest is, but, if they're gray areas that you want to see discussed, if you have a lighthearted topic that you'd like to see discussed in a ridiculous way, just go ahead and throw that down in the chat and we'll highlight some of the awesome ones that we get. And of course, since Toxic Man Flu is here, I'm sure there will be some penis related stuff in there. So that's always an option as well. I really don't want to talk about penises, though, Tox. Just saying. Anyway, so I am a subscriber to the Marcus Aurelius train of thought, obviously. Hold on. Hail, Mrs. Flu. It's good to see you. Sporking News Podcast. I am loving you. Well, thank you, sir. I don't know how I feel about you loving me. JK, LOL. Love you. Oh, you couldn't see that. That's too bad. No, I'm normal, no dicks. So, Sporkin Raid. Well, thank you, Sporking, for sending so many awesome people over. Hello, Philip A. Demick. Glad to see ya. Marks47. They tried to raid you. Well, if YouTube doesn't stop you, then you're welcome. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, help me get out there, share it out a little bit. In the future, if you want to catch up on everything that we've done, just go ahead and rewind. It won't take long to catch up. I'll probably still be sitting here rambling aimlessly, blah, 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 blah. Just kidding. Oh, by the way, hail, Zax. It's good to see you, sir. I don't know if I said hail to you. I highlighted one of your comments, but I don't know if I said hi. Oh, well. So, I'm also thinking maybe at times I can have multiple people on this panel. Now, I'm thinking that 3 is usually my comfort zone for a comfortable conversation, which would be me, my co-host, and our guest. But in the future, I am open to having 2 guests at a time. And if you know somebody that might have a good time on here, I'm thinking about reaching out to Master TDS and Writing Raven because they're fantastic people and they seem like they'd be good fit for this show. Hail, Vertical Horizons, a spork sent me here. You know, I actually got cut by a spork once. And I'm not even kidding. That's not even a fucking joke. I got cut by a spork one time. Okay. I was cleaning up at a Taco Bell where I worked. And like, I just grabbed this bag that somebody had shoved inside these seats. And it was a blah, and it cut my finger open. One plastic spork. I was like, damn, I feel like a pussy. But anyway, moving on. See, Lasso of Truth. I would love to, absolutely love to have you on the show. You would be a fantastic fit, and I would make sure that we have some fun topics. Yes, JT Gunter, I actually cut myself with the spork. Yeah. Taco Bell, did you get to eat for free? I worked there. Of course I got to eat for free. They didn't always know I was eating for free, but that's none of their business. Ha, just kidding. For legal liabilities, just kidding. Hail, Stephen Ransom. I'm glad you could make it. Philip A. Demick says a spork too far. They'll stab you, no joke. Some are actually sharp. Yeah, I've seen metal sporks that will tear you up. Anyway, Vince says, moving on to eating. Well, that's good. I hope you enjoy it. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, Lasso, laughing. And Mrs. Flu, see? Anyway, so if you guys would like to be a guest, because I don't limit it to content creators, I don't limit it to people only on Twitter, only on YouTube, I don't limit it to anything. If you can find a way to ask me to be a guest, I will find a way to work it out. But the only thing that isn't flexible, with one exception, is the schedule. We will be on this time every Wednesday starting the 1st of June. Ah, yeah, I remembered what month it was. That's impressive for me, actually. Anyway, Sean Landrigan, good to see you, sir. I'm glad you could make it. Glad you could make it. But it will be 7:30 Mountain Time every Wednesday starting on the 1st of June. Now, the only reason I'm not doing one next week is because I will be on Floral from Under a Rock. His live stream thing that he does, she does, they do. I don't know how that works with puppets, but maybe that's a dark topic for another time. Multiple personalities and puppeteers. Where did they go wrong? And like I said, I will be doing intros and shit. Like, it's crazy how much work goes into this. And I guess that's part of the thing that's probably coming from a philosophical standpoint that you have to look at. My brain broke because for some reason, Vince Womack needs to have his messages approved for the word shit. Is that a filter I change? Can I change that? I just want people to say whatever they want. Am I allowed to say that? Katina Martin, good to see you. Hail chat from Katina Martin. So, yeah, my brain broke. Stream brain. See, this is what happens when I try to pay attention to too many things at one time. It just goes bad. Now, could you imagine if I was sitting there having a conversation with a guest and that happened? I'd be like, vamp for me, Holmes. I know this is my show, but I have no idea what's going on right now. Lasso of Truth says, I think it's YouTube filtering. And that does bring up a topic that I will get into on this show, and it's the freedom of speech. We will get into the fact that censorship is bad. We will talk about things like that. We will get deep. We will try to not be political, but there are like self-censorship is a real thing that needs to be discussed in the world. And I would love to have that chat with some of these people within our sphere because um, self-censorship just means that you're holding yourself back from letting yourself out. Now, some levels of self-censorship are are healthy because like if you were in a bad mood and you just popped off every time somebody pissed you off, you probably wouldn't have any friends, you probably wouldn't have a significant other, you'd probably be a miserable alcoholic. Not bashing you if you are a miserable alcoholic, but you know, it's not really a great way to be. Is he hinted in here somewhere? Mr. Grant Gregory, it's good to see you, sir. I'm glad you can make it. Hail. I'd love to have you on this show. We can talk about some philosophical stuff and whatnot. It'd be a great time. But also, if you know anyone who might want to be on this show and they're not aware of the Sir Talks-a-Lot, this guy right here, then please, absolutely shoot them a link, show them this little live stream that we're doing tonight to show how everything is going. And yeah, I mean, I'm open to any guests as long as they can pass my rigorous vetting. As a psychologist, I do go through a lot of profiling kind of stuff. Hail, awesome one. Scott Edco Raid. Scott. Do we know a Scott? I don't think we know a Scott. Oh, that's right. Sporking. That magnificent bald bastard. Vertical Horizons says censorship can be good depending on the circumstance and with moderation. That's the important key to censorship is context. Context is the end all be all of all things. It's what tells you whether something fits in what's going on right now. If emotions, let's say, are not logical or irrational or they don't seem that way, then you have to look at the context of the person's entire day or entire existence in order to see if their emotions are correct for where they're at or whether they're slightly extreme. I apologize for the delay. Never before have I seen my wife try to be so sneaky and fail so miserably. I'm just awestruck. I love her dearly, though, and I'll never get upset if she ever interrupts the live streams. It's just funny because, like, she's like banging around in drawers and stuff, and I'm trying to keep it just as a straight line of thought for once in my life, and then boom, gosh. I might need to go back. Hey, what happens if we do Streamception without the sound? Mm-hmm. And Streamception activate. I'm sure someone's done this at some point, but I just want to see. We're going to mute that. We're going to push play. We're going to go live. That didn't work, did it? Nope, sure didn't. I'm sorry, I've been curious about this for a while now. Yep, here we go. The Streamception has begun. Now it's just going to continue to do this for a little while I talk about things. I don't know why I found that so amusing. Anyway. Married life. You're right, Mrs. Flu. It's just kind of how it works. I mean, that's what happens. It is trippy, right? See, now we're going to start getting some crazy stuff going on. Yeah. Awesome one says he's a mass chicken killer and he loves chicken. Double Corey. I should stop doing that, shouldn't I? That's too bad. All right. No more distractions. See, Stephen Ransom says, Corey, you should talk to Gothic Therapy. They are killing it on Twitter. I know. I totally need to talk to TDS and Writing Raven. I would love to have them on these shows. I would love to have them on various things like that. And now it's going to get even crazier because I just full screened that. So many Corys, so little time. See, when I didn't know what I was going to be doing tonight, other than explaining this, I decided, let's just screw around. And this is what happens. Yep. Yep. Let's just pause that for a little bit and let it build up, shall we? All right. I was totally expecting to have an actual conversation about this by now, but oh well. So, chat, here's the question that I have for you. Are there any topics that you people, and by you people I mean everybody around here, yeah? Streamception begins again. Is there any topics that you people would not give a shit about if we covered them? And I'm actually serious about this, by the way, because I'm here to entertain people, okay? And it's a huge deal for me when people get bored during a live stream. So I just really need to stop sharing that. And I'm trying to stop my brain from shutting off, damn it. See? Please no Disney show talk. That won't be a problem because we won't be talking a lot about entertainment. So any entertainment, any Disney talk, anything like that, that would happen, would be relegated to Talking with Talks a Lot on Monday mornings at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, Mountain Daylight Time, however they say that. But definitely no Disney talk. And Disney's basically all politics at this point, and I have no interest in doing that. But we can talk about various. We can talk about various social things. Okay, let's put it that way. Social things that do get pushed through mainstream media, and we can talk about them on a philosophical level regarding. I'm sorry. Hold on one sec, guys. All right. I do apologize for that. That was another wife-based emergency, honestly, because some keys are missing. That's kind of shitty. So Vertical Horizon says there's already enough Disney talk on YouTube, or something thereabouts. What he said. I just minced it all up. But anyway, You're correct. There's a lot of people talking about Disney. They're a huge deal, and I've never wanted to talk about Disney, and we're never going to talk about Disney unless I'm on, honestly, probably Thursday Night Throwdowns. So, if it correlates, it should be mentioned, but it shouldn't be the topic. You are correct. Not all politics, only certain politics. You're correct. And we are going to be avoiding becoming political. And what I mean by that, okay, we should clarify what I mean by getting political. Because many people have said these days that everything is political. And I say that's complete fucking garbage. It's not true. If everything was political, no one would be happy with any other person in their entire life. Okay? Period. Relationships wouldn't work out, even though a lot of them are failing because they're becoming about politics and such like that. But um, politics, in my mind, is all about running other people's lives. And it's not okay to try and run someone else's life if they have the ability to do so themselves. And of course, we do have set norms and set things that help us identify individuals that need assistance in living their lives. That's not what I'm talking about. But being political means that you're using an idea to try and control other people's lives by not looking at all of the facts, by only spouting a single sided, biased opinion, and stuff like that. Discussions do not need to be political. See, Vince Womack gets it. One can talk politics without getting political. And I would like to talk philosophy without getting political. Because philosophy, as many people know, is like the birth house of political thought and control and all of this other crazy shit. See, it shouldn't be about running other people's lives, but sadly, it has come to that, hasn't it? You see, it kind of has, and it shouldn't be because um, everyone has the ability to be themselves. Everyone has the ability to think for themselves, to build themselves into strong, functioning individuals that can, say, succeed. Even in the face of fear, in the face of doubt, in the face of guilt, shame, it doesn't matter. We're allowed to make mistakes, and we're allowed to think differently than the people next to us. Forcing yourself on another individual is rape in most cases. I'm not supposed to say that on YouTube. Oh dear. But let's be real. When it comes to mind fucking people with a belief system like political ideology, whether you're a Democrat or Republican or your politics are your genitalia for some reason, or whether or not your politics are a little bit more sound minded and rational. But it's none of that has to be brought into philosophy discussions, in my opinion. So we're going to leave all of that out. We will talk about certain social things, like I said, but that will be more for framing and mindset and understanding another individual's position, because there's going to be people on this show in the future that I don't agree with. There's going to be people that I don't understand. There's going to be people whose lifestyles that I don't understand in any way, shape, or form. And those opportunities are growth opportunities for everyone. Awesome One says, hashtag free the words. See, through the logical and well structured sharing of thoughts and ideas, we were able to build the world we live in today that used to be enjoyable before, I would say, philosophically soft minded individuals started fucking things up. But that's getting political, isn't it? Defining what politics is to each of us is important, which is why when I bring a guest on, I will send them a questionnaire of types beforehand so I can understand where I need to maintain my knowledge base, like, or what I need to strengthen so we can have a discussion. Because I am a follower of Aurelius. I'm not super familiar with individuals like Tolstoy. I've never studied Socrates. I love Nietzsche because without music, life would be wrong. But there are other philosophers out there, and there are other individuals who I feel could give me the knowledge of what it's like to be human. Because that's what philosophy is all about, honestly. That's what my journey on Earth has been about, kind of. And then trying to figure out how to share that with other people. And I've done a pretty good job of that in certain ways, helping the people in my small circle broaden their minds, if you will, and without illicit substances, too, at least on their part. But anyway, so I shouldn't have said that either. Man, I'm bad at this. Anyway, not. I'm trying to see if there's any new people in the chat. I'm sorry. Small Time Republic. If I didn't say hi to you, hi, Small Time Republic. I'm sorry. A lot of familiar faces, a lot of new faces. This is awesome. Fuck, it's getting hot in here. Hold on. Gosh, it's fucking hot. It's kind of like an oven in this room right now. I haven't vaped this whole time. You guys, man, I'm surprised you guys didn't recognize me. You guys recognize me. There it is. Yep. Be true to yourself and follow your gut. You are correct. If you can't be true to yourself, then you'll never be honest with anyone else. So take off all your clothes. See, Vince, things like that need to be approved, and now I can't highlight it. Dang it. I hate YouTube's censorship bullshit. Shouldn't have to approve something like that. I said, it's getting hot in here. And he said, so take off all your clothes. Like, give me a break. YouTube, there's song lyrics. You should know that. You copyright everything. You copyright strike everything, you fucking bastards. Anyway. Yes, but honestly, I'm looking to have a lot of fun with this. Because not all of these things need to be serious. I'm going to have a great time talking about life on other planets. I'm going to have a great time with some guest at some point talking about God's sense of humor. It all just depends on where they land on what they believe. Because would I ask an atheist about God's sense of humor? Yes, because that would be funny as hell to me. But that's kind of how I am. I'm going to ask them, if there was a God, what do you think? And they're going to be like, there isn't a God. And we're going to have a discussion. And that's how it's going to go. We need to relearn the art of discussion. Okay? Not that he was the greatest example, but Sigmund Freud used to have a gathering of great minds. I believe it was every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. so that they could talk the newest, greatest things in psychology. And of course, psychology's roots is philosophy, the study of why, if you will. And many, many things are gained from a good conversation. And the reason I say Sigmund Freud wasn't the greatest example of that is because if you disagreed with Freud, he would literally just 86 you from the special kids club, and you wouldn't, like, look at what happened with Jung. I mean, that was bad. That was bad. They had a falling out, and it was kind of shitty. But anyway, I digress. I want to get back to that meeting of great minds. And am I saying I have a great mind? Yes. Do I believe that? That's a topic for a different time, because it's not about whether or not I have a gigantically self-inflated ego and I think I'm an amazing person or anything. Because if you saw my propensity for self-deprecation, you'd know that's not the truth. Ooh, I like this. Vertical Horizon says, hell, I met a flat earther last week. Older gentleman, but he really did believe in it. See, and you're welcome to your beliefs. That's, yes. I know I am. I too am incredibly humble. But see, with flat earthers and people like that, let them have their beliefs. These are kinds of things that obviously not even hard scientific evidence can change. This is one of my many philosophies that is stemmed from Marcus Aurelius. Don't waste unnecessary time on fools. For a fool can never have his heart changed because he's fooling himself. That's the way things work. I'm looking to talk with people who are more open-minded, who are more willing to have big-brained discussions in small-brain ways, because I don't remember all the fancy lingo all the time. Awesome One says, I'm a Pi. Hello, Pi. I'm Corey, the leader of Sir Taxalot. And by leader, I mean it's just me. Man, I made 8 videos for 2 days worth of shit. And I still didn't get the shit done for this one. I still didn't. I'm like, I need to make all these videos. That was a dumb idea to try and do all that in 2 days. See, Vince Womack gets it. Don't worry about things you cannot change. See, and that's going to be one of the things that we're going to talk about, is people's worries in life and stuff like that. And we're going to try to see whether or not we can help other people worry less. Because there are certain things that you do not need to worry about. That's why the fear of death is one of the topics. That's why in the future it'll be like anxiety, some more actual emotional, tangible things. It won't just be these weird topics like what I presented you tonight, but I would love to have a discussion with someone about morality, various perspectives on morality that exist today. It should be an interesting conversation. Mrs. Flew says, what is your favorite book? My favorite book? Well, in the fantasy genre, I would say that it's The Dark Tower, probably the first one, The Gunslinger. It's a fantastic story. I love that book. If we're going real true stories, I like The Family Crucible. I like, oh, man, I have a lot of favorite books. I do. I'm going to have to think about that. Vertical Horizon says, immediate worries are always on the minds. And it is. See, and I believe, once again, my personal opinion, is that most people these days have been programmed to be gigantic balls of anxiety. And the reason I think that is because I was programmed to be a giant ball of anxiety. And chances are, if you've experienced something, chances are someone else has too. I said chances are too many times for that phrase. But the worries that we have every day in life weigh too heavily on our minds to be, in my opinion, justified. Um, sure, I'm sure there were people in the past who suffered from anxiety like we do these days. Some people, but not on such a massive scale. Sure, things were simpler back then. Things might have been easier from our perspective. Maybe not from the people's perspective who lived through it. But the thing is, once you start being able to put the anxieties that you have into a context that is based in a rational place, you actually experience the anxiety less. Once you can see it in comparison to what it, from what it is to what you think it is, things become easier to handle. And it's fantastic. I've learned to do that. Obviously, not super well, as evidenced by Vegas and on the handling people's, like, large groups of people, but we'll get there eventually. Vince Womack says, I'm currently trying to read Meditations, among other things. Meditations is great. Book 5 is one of my favorites. I'm currently reading through that myself. It is downstairs next to my fall asleep chair. Yeah. Lasso of Truth says, I've trained myself to not be a worrier. It's possible. And a lot of people don't realize that. And a lot of people don't realize that you can teach yourself not to be affected by pretty much everything to a point that it can hurt you. Like, you can literally even become, for lack of a better word, comfortable with the death of other people through your understanding of it. Is that entirely healthy? I have no idea. It's possible, though. But we can talk about that some other time and talk about what compassion has to play into that role. You know what I mean? Vertical Horizons says, this Vertical Horizons person is great. Oh my. That's why escapism is important. Importante. A reprieve is much needed. It is. See, escapism exists for a reason, and that's why my goal is to make entertainment entertaining again. Even if I have to do that 2 minutes at a time by releasing stupid little laughing videos that people are like, oh, no one else would say that. Well, no shit. It's because everyone else is afraid. Everyone else wants to make sure that you can't escape so that you can be afraid too. And it's your responsibility and it's within your power to make sure that doesn't happen. Escapism helps you do that without so much stress on yourself. That's why physical media is king. Watch all the old episodes of everything that you've ever enjoyed and just cancel your subscriptions to Disney and Netflix and all those guys. There's my political rant tonight. Yeah, that was intense, right? I know it was. Oh, yeah. Awesome One says, I'm an avoider. That happens. Avoidance can be a coping mechanism. It's a matter of finding out how to use it as an effective coping mechanism. He says, my mind has always escaped even at work. Well, I would posit that you need to challenge yourself. Because I've found that when my mind wanders too often, it's because there's a little bit of stagnation that's set in. And notice I said stagnation and not boredom. Because you can love what you do, but you can stagnate in doing it and then eventually not enjoy it at all. And your mind will wander and you won't care anymore. Or especially if you have a monotonous job. It's terrible. Trust me, I know. It's bad. It's dumb. You should invite Vertical Horizons for a talk. I would absolutely love to have Vertical Horizons on as a guest. as I said, I am welcoming anyone as a guest. Obviously, there would be certain people that I would not have on my show. Like, I probably wouldn't have Jack Murphy on my show, or Sean King, or any of these other, like, deep throating fluffernutters that love to run around and just bang it home. But, I am open to pretty much anybody being on the show. And Vertical Horizons, if you would like to be on the show, if you're on Twitter, find me on Twitter at The Good Voice Guy. If you are on Gilded, check me out. I'm on there too. I'm in the Pixel Nation. I'm all over the place. I'm honored, but I don't think my mobile setup is good for streaming. I've heard a lot of people have issues with the mobile streaming thing. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. If you ever get to the point where you can be on my stream, I welcome you. Vertical Horizon, I do. So, one topic I'd like to cover is our noble obligation. Noblesse oblige. Too much is given, much is expected. With great power comes great responsibility. Interesting. I loved Stan Lee. He was so good. Man. Sean Landrigan. I know. It's disappointing, but no. No Jack Murphy. Sorry. That's just a moral decision I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life, that I would never have that man on my show. Like, ever. Sorry, I was reading comments and stuff. It's great. Man. Yes. I stole that from Culture Casino. After I saw him using the counter. Vertical Horizon says, will do. I'm more of an observer commenter. When I get a better setup, I'll let you know. Please do. Please do. And you're always welcome in the chat. Whenever I'm live, anywhere, ever. Tell Scott I said thanks for sending everyone over here, because I don't think he's here anymore. Honestly. Sporking's kind of an ADHD, got more stuff to do kind of guy, right? Oh, no, wait. Who is that I'm thinking of? Oh, well. And, I'm not an individual who has a lot of rules on his channel. I guess I should cover this. The rules on the channel are don't get political and don't be a dick. Usually don't be a dick is the first one, but since this is Sir Toxalot, don't be political is basically on the same level. And just for clarification, being a dick means being a dick. When you're being a dick, don't be a dick. That's how it works, right? My mods they have full permission to nuke anyone that's being a dick in the chat, as long as it's not for like petty personal reasons, like not liking a specific color or something like that, childish. Vince Womack says, that rules me out. The fact that you can't be a dick, I doubt it. I'm just going to call you out on that, Vince. I'm going to call bullshit, and I'm going to say I bet this would be a great conversation. Just saying. Lasso says she'll only time out the trolls. Fine. Like Thanos, I'll do it myself. I love axing people. I hold the record at my local theater for when I worked there for kicking the most people out at one time. Out of a single auditorium. It was like 25 loud, stupid teenagers. I loved every second of it. I got a standing applause from the people in the top row that wanted them to just shut the fuck up. They say at the beginning of every movie, just silence your cell phone. Why would that be so hard for people to understand? I don't know how much philosophy has been covered in this first hour-long episode. Oh yeah, that's another important thing. It's only going to be an hour long, just like everything else. It's going to be an hour long at most. So, BT dubs. What movie? Ah, Mrs. Flu. You got to ask me to remember things. It was one of those stupid PG-13 horror movies that came out in when was that? Like 2015, maybe a little earlier than that. I don't know, The Conjuring Part 2. Maybe it was The Conjuring Part 2. I don't remember when that one came out. Maybe that was longer ago than I remember. Blair says, looking forward to the 1st of June and the first show. Scream or something? No. Katina Martin says, common sense is not so common anymore, Corey. I understand that, and it's a shame. And it's also a shame that Disney gets the best quote for that for Deadpool. I know they probably didn't have anything to do with writing it, but you know, common sense is so rare, it's a superpower. Like Annabelle? Vertical Horizon asks. No, I'm pretty sure it was one of the Conjuring movies. It was like, actually, you know what? I'm just going to check real quick. Nope. Maybe it wasn't The Conjuring, ladies and gentlemen. Nope, wasn't that one either. Damn. I don't know. There were so many of those garbage ass, stupid fucking movies. I don't like them. I don't like jump scare horror movies. They're dumb. Okay? I saw It for the first time, Stephen King's It for the first time when I was 7 years old. These guys don't even like, I fall asleep during half these so-called horror movies these people put out. It pisses me off. Gosh. Stupid ass. Vertical Horizon says Paranormal Activity was the worst of the bunch. I agree. And oh my gosh. Okay. There were so many people who thought Paranormal Activity was real. Specifically in my town. That I'm pretty sure it like contributed to my alcoholism. That might be a slight exaggeration, but I'm going to go with it anyway. On that tangent, smartphones are why I only go to drive-ins. I agree. Like I hate people with their smartphones. I'm a horror junkie too, but only good horror movies. Lasso of Truth. And I'm talking like, they're older. They're all older. Like 80s and before horror movies. Some of the 90s ones were good, but 2000 onwards, it just started like this. And somewhere in the giant pile of shit that is Hollywood, it crashed, burned, and exploded. But I can't wait for the independent horror film industry to take off. Like, I want Culture Casino to hurry up and get a fucking move on making this movie. I don't know if I'm supposed to say things like that. I think we've talked about that on air. I don't know anymore. But ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the time, it's been about an hour. So let's go over everything, shall we? Starting June 1st, we will be doing Dark Philosophy every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We will have a co-host and a guest, and we will have the guest pick from 3 topics, one from the white category, one from the gray category, and one from the black category. And then, when they've chosen, we shall have an hour-long discussion or so It's only going to be an hour-long episode, so it's going to be a discussion that lasts for however long, but it will be on said topic, and it will be a great time. Come one, come all, find me on Twitter at TheGoodVoiceGuy. Shoot me a message if you want to be a guest, but remember to say more than hi, because I don't fucking respond to those. I just delete them, okay? They just gone. Anyway. What else should I say? Tomorrow morning on Sir Talks a Lot, make sure to check out Corey's Quick Reviews. I do a quick, 2-minute video on my thoughts on XRL7. They are a Oh, you're White Knight. What's up? Nah. What's up, your White Knight? Bro, long time no see. Awesome. Guys, way back from my beginning, he's been following me. I'm pretty sure it's Lady Gravemaster's fault, as a matter of fact. So thank her for that. Anyway, tomorrow, Corey's Quick Reviews on XRL7. It is a fantastic. I've just watched the review. It's also got a preview for my first ever techno song coming out. It's called Sins of a Collective Mind. And it's going to be great. Preview on tomorrow's Corey's Quick Reviews, and full release on the Corey Music channel on Friday. Stay tuned. We're gearing up because everything is a go from here. I have no guest for this coming Monday, so I'm going to get a guest for this coming Monday on Talking with Talks a Lot. Then I'll be on, tomorrow night, I'm going to be on Thursday Night Throwdown. And then Monday, I've got Talking with Talks a Lot and yelling at parked cars. And man, more mental dysentery on Tuesday. Floral from Under a Rock on Wednesday. Another Corey's Quick Review on Thursday. And then nothing on Friday. I don't know. We'll find out. I bet you I could get something done by Friday too. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take off. You guys are wonderful. I'll see you guys later. And as always, stay sexy and don't get murdered. Hi. If you enjoyed this content and would like to see more of it and more like it, then donate to the Ko-Fi link in the description. Thank you.